All right, so I hope you were able to add that form, right? So when we click, we want to add a form below there, so to have something similar to this. Let's go ahead and start constructing it. If you were able to do this, congratulations. If not, no worries. We are going to do that together. All right, to do, we have here, I'm going to put the form. The form is going to be under the content property or field of our alert dialog. So I'm going to say form such the child. I'm going to pass a single row, single child scroll view as such. Again, this will allow us to have a scrollable view in cases when the web app is running on a smaller devices such as iOS or Android apps or tablets. And when users tap on text field form, what happens is the keyboard, right? The soft keyboard shows up. And when that happens, everything is shrinked, meaning the view, the window is shrinked. So we want to make sure that there is that scrollable. That way, users are still able to access those fields. That's why we're putting inside of single child scroll view. All right, for each child, I'm going to put a container such. And of course, the container will have a lot of things. Get rid of that. Looks like we're having a lot of issues here. Okay, so child. What are we going to pass here? Let's put a column, because remember, everything is going to be from top to bottom. If you look at this, all this information, all these fields and so forth. Okay, pass children there as such. All right, so what do we need to do? I'm going to put it in a text field. We've seen this before. Text form field, that is. And I'm going to pass a controller, which is going to be the title text controller. Okay, we haven't created that. And let's pass a decoration here. And we've used this before. I'm going to use the build input decoration. And for label, I'm going to pass something that says book title. And for, I believe, text hint, that is, we're going to say, let's say flutter. While we're here, let's go ahead and wrap this with a padding. 8 is fine. Let's create field. It's going to be at the top there. Actually, let's put that inside of our build function there. And make this final. And let's say instantiated text field controller, text input, text editing controller as such. All right. Let's go back to where we are. So we have that there. Well, while we're here, let's go ahead and add these other ones. This next is going to be, let's go and see, author, and then book cover link. Okay, so it's going to be author, and then we're going to call the next one, it's going to be photo, text controller, and then we're going to go ahead and get this thoughts field. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same. We're going to call this notes text controller such. And while we're here, let's just actually make this. We go notes text controller, everything is good. Let's go back to that one. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the second one. So I'm going to just copy this and put there and do the other one as well. So the first one, book title. The second one is going to be, it's going to be author A. And let's make sure that we have here the author that we're passing. Controller. All right. This is going to be book cover. And we're not going to put anything for the hint. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Very good. So we have the book title, author, and book cover. All right, so there we have it. It's looking really good. Now, the reason why this is a little bit larger is because it grows depending on the text that we have in either one of these fields. The next one we have to add here is going to be the thoughts or the notes. So let's go ahead and do that. Back into our code for this, and add one more here. This is going to be thoughts, or your thoughts. Let's say enter notes, like that. And then, right when we finish that, I'm going to put a row. We're going to add those two buttons that we see, these guys, specifically this one there. We already have that two-sided rounded button. Remember this one here. We're going to use that and maybe change something a little bit to make that a button so that it looks like this. We're going to be reusing some code. So first thing I'm going to pass you and say two, if I can type, of course, two-sided rounded button, and we can pass a few parameters here or a few fields. First one's going to be text, and we're going to put something like this, update. And then we can pass radius. We want radius to be about 12. And then we're going to pass color. We want to change the color so that it's a little bit different. I'm going to say K icon color. Remember these colors we've added before. All right, and then for the press, there we go. Then we're going to pass a method which we'll call the moment the button's pressed. And we can do the same thing. So in this row here, we have this row. Let's add another button. All right, so this button here is going to be the same thing. We're going to change. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same button. I could have added this icon delete, which is fine, but it looks a little bit out of place. Let's be a little bit more consistent. So add this. This is going to be delete, like that. And I can change the color if I want to say colors.red, right? Just to give it a little bit more pizzazz to say, okay, this is very serious. You're going to delete something. All right, let's go back and check it out. And voila, we have the update and delete. They're both too close to one another. What we can do is, because we're inside of a row, that's what we did, we can change a few things. Let's see, there's the row. We can align things inside of this row. For instance, I can say, for instance, main axis alignment. It's going to be for main axis alignment, and I want space between them, or space evenly, which means it's going to go and put these two buttons spaced out evenly. So if I hit enter, there it is. Let's save this. All right, let's click again, and voila, you can see they give themselves some space. Very good. So they don't do anything yet, but they will at some point. Next, we're going to look at how to put together this structure here. So we have this start on. So when users click, that would be the day they're starting to put together or to read this book. And they can also mark as read, as well as rate this book. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking at next.